Welcome to Lunch with the Lord. I'm Pastor Mark, and I have some exciting news, and I just want to let you know that I've hit the lottery. That's right. You're probably saying to yourself, wow, which one was it? Was it Powerball? Was it Mega Millions? Which one? How much did you win? Where are you going to spend all that money? What are you going to do now? Going to buy a big house and never work another day in your life and go on 3 vacations every year for 2 weeks or wherever? You're going to travel the world and see the world now? Well, it's not like that, but you'll understand. But I did hit the lottery. I have 2 older brothers and I have 2 older sisters. I have a sister who's 2 years older than me. And I have a brother who's 6 years older than me, and then another brother who's 12 years older than me. And then I have my oldest sister, the oldest family member, and she's 15 years older than me. And each one of us is different. We have the same father and the same mother, but we're all different. My brothers not only different because I have sisters and brothers, but also different because of likes and dislikes and clothes and food that we eat and all that kind of stuff, but we're all different. And I also remember way back in the late 1970s, I think it was 1976, 1977, maybe 1978, I grew up in the Reformed Church, First Reformed Church of Bethlehem. That's in upstate New York. It's in Selkirk, South Bethlehem, New York. And the Reformed Church in New York, they have this piece of property in upstate New York, in the woods up there, and it's called Camp Fowler. And Camp Fowler is a very beautiful place. Nice, it's on a nice lake, and it's in the woods, lots of trees around, and they have log cabins there. You can go and spend the evening or spend a weekend in a log cabin, or you can go tenting, and they got hiking trails and canoeing, and it's nice up there. And I remember when I was younger, my mother and father and sisters and brothers and I, we used to go up there on weekends. Our church would have some kind of function up there, and so we would go and we'd spend the night, or even sometimes we'd just go up for the day and then come back. It was maybe, 2-3 hour drive to get there and then come back. And I used to like going into the main building on the property, the meeting hall. It was a big, huge room, wooden, all log cabin building, huge. And I used to love going in there because on the main wall in the log cabin, there was a big moose head. So my sister and I, she's 2 years older than me, we used to like going in there and looking at the moose head up on the wall. See if it was still there. But it always was. Well, back in the late 1970s, our youth group, we had a function going on there. And there were other youth groups from other Reformed churches there too. So we went for the weekend. And while we were there were 2 sisters there. And I didn't realize it, but somebody told me that evening that they were twins. And I said, no, they can't be twins. They can't be twins. They're not twins. I mean, I can understand sisters. And they were probably my age, maybe a year or 2 younger than me. But they were sisters, and I said, no, they can't be twins. And they said, yeah, they're twins. They're fraternal twins. And I said, oh. And one of the girls was kind of thin. The other girl was a little heavier and taller. And they had the same color hair, but facial features, no, they weren't twins. But you could say, yeah, okay, they were sisters. And I couldn't believe it at first until somebody told me, but they were. And you're probably thinking to yourself, Mark, you're starting out here telling us that you won the lottery and you won all this money. And why are you telling us about older brothers and sisters and likes and dislikes and how they're different? And why are you telling us about fraternal twins that you met, in upstate New York? What's that got to do with the lottery? What's that got to do with all this money and spending and going and seeing places and things? Well, I'll get to that. When your father and mother, each time that a man and a woman have sex, the man gives to the woman, each time the man gives to the woman approximately 180 million different seed. Okay? 180 million different seed. Now, if you buy a regular lottery ticket, on the back, you read on the back, it'll say the odds of winning this lottery are 75 million to 1 or 80 million to 1 or whatever it is. And people say, well, it's like being hit by lightning, you winning the lottery is like being hit by lightning or being mauled by a Kodiak bear in 2 different states or something like that, some astronomical figure and like some impossibility. And to hit that, and that is for hitting a money lottery. A money lottery, let's say the lottery is $200 million, okay? And the odds of hitting it are, let's say, 72 million to 1, right? Well, and it's like being hit by lightning. Well, if 75 million to 1 is like being hit by lightning, or like being mauled by 2 different Kodiak bears in 2 different states on the same day, then what are the odds of 180 million to 1? Is it being like mauled by 5 different Kodiak bears in 5 different states on the same day? Right? Or is it being hit by lightning 3 different times in 3 different states on the same day? What are the odds of 180 million to 1? Okay. Now are you beginning to understand what I mean when I say I hit the lottery? But it's not only me that hits this lottery. It's you too. I hit the lottery. But you hit the lottery also. The day that you were conceived, the odds were 180 million to 1. The day you were conceived, the odds of you hitting it were 180 million to 1. And let's say your father and mother were trying to have you for 2, 3, 4 years, right? How many, not 180 million, how many 180 million to 1s went by the wayside? Maybe now the number is 4, 5, 6 billion to 1. Huh? Maybe even more. Maybe even 7 or 8 billion to 1. What's the odds of that? Is it like being hit by lightning 50 different times in 50 different states on a weekend? What are the odds of 7 billion to 1? Right? But you were conceived. You were born. Why did I bring up that my brothers and sisters are different than I? Why did I specifically bring up about these 2 fraternal twins? Because the day they were conceived, there were 180 million brothers and sisters that the father gave to the mother. And one of those 180 million went this way, and another one went this way. And they both were completely and totally independent of each other. Completely and totally two different people. Each single seed that the father gives to the mother is in and of itself a completely and totally separate human being. Okay? It's not 180 million different pieces of you. No. It's not that. It's 180 million different brothers and sisters that have the potential to become born into this world. Okay? This is beautiful. As a Christian, this is beautiful because it tells us that it's not that we are in a random where, oh, I was born, I hit the lottery, I won, I was conceived that day. I think it's more that God was waiting for you. That God was waiting for you. He waited and waited and waited until he saw you, and then you were born. He waited through hundreds and hundreds and maybe billions of brothers and sisters before you were born. Right? And there you are. And God put his hand on you, and he wanted you to be born. He wanted you. Is it because you're special or you're somebody important that God would ooh and ah, that, oh, I can't wait for them to be born? No, it's not that way at all. God has his own reason. God has his own purpose for you to be born. But he wanted you, and he chose you. And that's inspiring. That tells me that God loves me. He wanted me. Why? And you know, many times I've thought to myself, why was it me? Why was it me? I mean, there's of the hundreds of millions of other brothers and sisters that didn't make it. Why did he choose me? There's got to be at least one other one that would serve him better. That would be better because I know me. I know me. I know how I think. And I know what I do. I know how I think, and I think to myself, God, there had to be at least one other brother and sister that would have served you and loved you better than me. But you know what? I don't concern myself with that, but God chose me. He wanted me to be born. God chose you. You see, I didn't just hit the lottery. You hit it too. You hit the lottery. God chose you through hundreds and hundreds of millions of brothers and sisters that could have been born but weren't, but he chose you. Now, I don't have all the answers. Why didn't God choose them? Where are they? What did God do with them? Is God so terrible? No. I don't have the answers. No one has those answers. The only thing I can tell you, don't bother writing me on the email saying, Mark, what about this? What about that? No, it's not that way. I'm not going to answer you because I don't have any of the answers. You're going to have to wait till you stand before God and ask him yourself, what happened? I kind of think when you stand before God, the answer is you're going to automatically know. You're just going to know. But you know what? I hit the lottery, and you hit it too. The odds were 180 million to 1, and maybe 2 and 3 billion to 1. But you hit it. And you may say, well, what did I win? What did you win? Something better than money. You won something much more precious than money. No, the $250 million that you could win in Mega Millions or Powerball, doesn't come anywhere close to what you and I won when we hit the lottery. You know what it is that we won? We won the opportunity to know Him. To know Him. He's the treasure. He's the treasure. He's our bright and morning star. Oh yes, you won the lottery. God chose you to be born into this world so that you would have the opportunity to know Him, to be loved by Him, to spend eternity in heaven with Him forevermore. That's right, to spend eternity with Him. I don't know why He did it. I don't know why He chose me. But He chose me. 180 million to 1. Maybe 2 or 3 billion to 1. I don't know what it was. But He put His hand on you because He wants you to know Him. Give your heart to the Lord. Know Him. Love Him. Serve Him. He loves you. He cares for you. He waited for you. And He loves you. And He died for you on the cross so that you could spend eternity and that you could win the lottery to spend eternity forever with Him who chose you. Have a great day. Think about it. Take time and think about it. Love Him and serve Him. God bless you.